All right. Good evening, folks. Welcome to the City of Lowell Zoning Board of Appeals public hearing for September 23rd. Just a few reminders. If you have a cell phone or electronic device, if you could turn it off or put it on vibrate so it doesn't disrupt the meeting, it'd be appreciated. And then if you're coming to speak tonight, whether you're the petitioner or a butter or you have any comments, please come to the lectern, state your name and address for the record. And then also this hearing is happening right now in the City Council chambers. You could also attend and view and make comments through Zoom and by phoning in as well. Nothing under continued business. Moving on to new business. We have ZBA-2024-36 petition. It's a special permit. The applicant's Benito Alcantara. The applicant has applied to Lowell Zoning Board of Appeals. The property located at 1695 Middlesex Street, Unit 9, 10, and 11. The applicant has applied to Lowell Zoning Board of Appeals to install an internally illuminated sign at 1695 Middlesex Street. The property is located in the Regional Retail RR zoning district and requires special permit under section 6.3 and for any other requiring the Lowell zoning ordinance. Do we know if anyone's here for Middlesex Street?
Dylan, anybody on Zoom?
No one is on Zoom.
All right, we'll table that one. Moving on to our next agenda item, ZBA-2024-37. A petition is a variance. The applicant is Billy Antoine. Property located at 109 Methuen Street. The applicant has applied to the Lowell Zoning Board of Appeals to convert the existing single-family property to a two-family property at 109 Methuen Street. The subject property is located in traditional two-family TTF zoning district. The proposal requires variance approval per section 5.1 for relief from the minimum usable open space per dwelling unit and minimum lot area per dwelling unit requirements and any other relief required in the Lowell zoning ordinance. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. My name is Hushmand Afshar from Taj Engineering here in Lowell. The proposed single family is located in a traditional two-family zoning district. It's a lot corner. It's got two frontages on 11th Street and Methuen Street, and in both cases it meets the current requirement for the frontage. The existing house is single family. The total area of the lot is 6,890 square foot, and the requirement, the minimum lot requirement for converting into a two-unit would be 8,000. So the applicant is requesting a relief for the difference, which is 1,110 square foot. The open space, the available open space meets the current requirement. It's more than what the requirement is for the open space for institutional unit. The applicant is not proposing.
Sir, can you just talk into the microphone, if you don't mind? Can you just talk into the microphone, just for the public?
Okay.
You can take it off.
Yeah, you can take it off the handle if you need to.
Sorry about that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey, for that, pointing out.
The applicant is not proposing to put any new foundation, any additional exterior work to the existing footprint of the house. There are 4 parking units on site, 2 for each unit. And the only requirements, the only relief which the applicant is requesting really is the minimum lot area each dwelling unit, as I mentioned. These are the 2 pictures of the existing house. This is from 11th Street. This one is from Methuen Street. The applicant is planning to upgrade the house, basically by painting the house and basically refreshing the lawn, refreshing the landscaping, and give it a new look altogether, comparing to what it is right now. The existing lot area is very much in line with all the lots in the neighborhood, in generally speaking. These are the proposed floor plans for the 2. One thing I forgot to mention here before I move on to the floor plans is that each unit does have 2 independent access. One access is right in front from Methuen Street, entering into a common foyer, and then from that foyer you have entrance to the first floor, and then a set of stairs, which is noted here as E1 and E2, to entrance first floor and the second floor. There is another entrance on the side that goes to the first floor, and another entrance on the side that goes to the second floor, and a third entrance to first floor, again on the side facing the 11th Street. So both floors have their own independent access and egress. This is the proposed floor plan, floor layout for the first floor. It's an independent unit again, standalone, bedrooms, kitchen, bathrooms, and so on and so forth, dining room. And same goes for the second floor, which is again, can be considered as an independent unit. The area under the attic, as shown on the floor plan, architectural drawing, shows the ceiling break, ceiling line. When beyond that, you can't really calculate into the floor area calculations, but 2 bedrooms will be on the third floor, existing third floor. So with that, if there is any question I could ask, I'll be more than happy. I just wanted to mention that the applicant is planning to stay on the first floor, himself and his wife, the couple, and then on the second floor, most likely there will be in-laws staying. So, thank you.
Thank you for the summary of your project, sir. Appreciate it. Now I'm going to open up the hearing to the public. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this petition? In opposition? In opposition? All right, seeing none, that portion of the public hearing is closed. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of this petition? In favor? In favor? All right, seeing none, the public hearing is closed. We're going to open questions and comments from the board now. The chair recognizes Mr. Briere. Mr. Briere, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The relief requested is minimal. There's no exterior construction. The lots are in line with other 2 families in the neighborhood. There's no, he meets all parking requirements, and the 2-family is allowed by right. I'll be voting in favor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Briere. The chair recognizes Mr. Hovey. Mr. Hovey, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. I think Member Briere summed it up pretty astutely. I have nothing to add.
Thank you, Mr. Hovey. The chair recognizes the vice chairman, Ms. Callan. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chairman. Ditto. I think those pretty much, Member Briere's comments wrapped it up, but it is in alignment with the remaining two families in the area. I know there's a couple other single families there, but looking around, there are two families in that area that have lower, less lot sizes than this one is being proposed, and it seems to make sense, so I will be voting in favor as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Callahan. The chair recognizes Mr. Nixon. Mr. Nixon, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't have any questions. Being in real estate and all that, I hate seeing these type of homes broken up and divided into two families but who can really afford to maintain a home like that themselves? But no questions, though. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Nixon. Sir, I think this is a nice addition to the neighborhood. I think we're in a housing crisis, so we need more additional housing stocks to the community, and this fits in with the neighborhood, like my colleague said. So I have no concerns as well. All right, if there's no more comments or questions from my colleagues, we'll move forward with a motion to approve.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion regarding ZBA 2024-37 for variances at 109 Methuen Street per section 5.1 for relief from minimal usable open space per dwelling unit and minimum lot area per dwelling unit.
All right, motion by Mr. Hovey,
Second.
second by the Vice Chair, Mr. Callahan. Can we roll call, please?
Chairman Peck,
Approve.
Vice Chair Callahan,
Approved.
Member Hovey,
Approve.
Member Briere,
Approval.
Member Nickerson.
Approve.
All right, you've been approved. Wish you best of luck in your project. Thank you for coming out tonight, sir. Have a good night.
Thank you much.
Thank you. All right, moving on to the next item on the agenda, we have ZBA-2024-29. The petition is a variance to special permit. The applicant is Manuel Quindy, property located at 771 Broadway Street. The applicant has applied to Lowell Zoning Appeals to open a juice shop at 771 Broadway Street. The subject property is located in traditional multifamily T-Mill zoning district. The proposal requires special permit approval from the Zoning Board of Appeals per section 4.5 to change the use from non-conforming use to another non-conforming use. Variance approval per section 6.1 for relief from the off-street parking requirements and any other relief required in the Lowell zoning ordinance. We got notification that this is continued to October 28th due to not posting the legal ad. Is that correct, Mr. Ricker?
Yes, we had notification from the Lowell Sun that the legal ad did not run, so the board would need to continue it to the
Were the
October
applicants
28th meeting.
aware of this? That is,
Did send an email.
All right, folks, so you have to run the legal ad before we can move forward with a public hearing, okay? So just touch base with DPD
Okay.
during regular business hours.
did you folks receive an email from? Okay.
Okay.
So no problem.
Okay, thank you. All right, can I have a motion to continue the matter, please, to October 28th?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion regarding ZBA 2024-29 for variances and special permit at 771 Broadway Street to be continued to the October 28th meeting.
All right, motion by Mr. Hovey to continue the matter. Second by Mr. Briere. Can we have a roll call, please?
Chairman Peck,
Approve continuance.
Vice Chair Callahan,
Approved continuance to October 28th, 2024.
Member Hovey,
Approve.
Member Briere, Member Nickerson.
Approve.
All right, that's been continued. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, we have ZBA-2024-38. The petition is a variance. The applicant is Walker Street LLC, property located at 113 Walker Street. The applicant has applied to the Lowell Zoning Board of Appeals to subdivide the existing lot at 113 Walker Street into 3 lots, maintain the existing single-family home, and construct 2 duplexes on either side of the existing single-family home on the new lots. The property is located in the traditional multifamily TMF zoning district and requires variance approval under section 5.1 for relief from the minimum frontage requirements and for any relief required in the Lowell zoning ordinance. Good evening, Councilor.
Chairman Peck, members of the Zoning Board of Appeals. For the record, my name is Attorney John Cox, 375 Gorham Street, Lowell, Massachusetts, and I represent John Norton. Mr. Norton is the owner of the Walker Street LLC, which owns the property we're talking about here at 113 Walker Street. It's about a 37,000 square foot lot. It consists currently of a two-family home that's been there a long time. And I'll just give you a quick history on this. This has been kicking around for now 4 years. In 2020, we came before the planning board for a plan that Mr. Norton had, which would have, and we received approval from the planning board for 8 units on this lot. After talking with some of the neighbors and the neighborhood organization, Mr. Norton came back, and we came back in 2022, and were approved for 9 units on this lot. We're now here 2 years later, 2020, 2022, now 2024, and requesting approval for 6 units on this lot. So as you can see, the number of units has come down as Mr. Norton has continued his talks with the neighborhood, particularly his direct abutter, Butchie Patnod, as I'm sure, and his wife. I'm sure most of you know who Mr. Patnod is. And there's a letter in your file, or at least we passed out today, from Mr. Patnod and his wife in support of this proposal. We also have a letter that you received this evening from David Willett, who is the chairman of the neighborhood organization in that neighborhood, supporting this proposal as well. So it's been, as I say, there's been some history here, but it's all been good history. And we are before you this evening for variances pertaining to frontage on each, and as the, I should go back to, as the agenda states, we are requesting to divide this property into 3 lots, and with two units of housing on each lot. The lot A, lot B, and lot C. If B were the lot 1, 2, and 3, I should say. If 2 were the middle lot, then that has the existing two-family home on it. It's like I said, it's a very good structure, and we would leave that, obviously be renovated. That would be a two-family, and then on lot 1 and lot 3 on both sides, it would be a new building of a 2-unit housing unit. All the lots require 6,000 square feet in lot area, and lot 1 has in excess of 8,100 square feet. Lot 2 has in excess of 20,000 square feet, and lot 3 has in excess of 8,100 square feet. We need frontage. We need relief on frontage. We need 80 feet of frontage for each lot. In this case, lot 1 would have 54.4 feet of frontage, lot 2, 65 feet of frontage, and lot 3, 53 feet of frontage. We also would need a curb cut for a variance for the curb cut. Curb cut for lot 1 and 3, each has 27.4 feet, and the max allowed is 15 feet. So those are that's the relief we're looking for. And I point to a memo from DPD, originally dated September 16th and then amended to September 18th. Where DPD, I think, comes out with a very strong memorandum in favor of this request. If you look at note number 6, in staff's opinion, the requested relief for frontage is reasonable, given that several Walker Street properties have filed less in frontage, less than 40 feet in some instances, 53 plus feet that would be consistent with other properties. Note 7, the proposed duplexes are consistent in height, setbacks, massing, and density with the existing neighborhood. And note number 8, the proposal advances Lowell's forward goal of expanding housing choice throughout Lowell by creating 2 new duplexes, which are considered part of the missing middle housing category. So it seems like it lines up very well with obviously what the city is trying to do. Other basic benefits, two that stand out quickly. One is more housing. It would create six brand-new units of housing in the city, and clearly tax revenue, which is pretty low right now on that one two-family house. This would expand that quite a bit. So we happy to answer. Matt is with me this evening. John Norton is here as well. And any questions you may have, we're happy to answer them. But I think this is a positive proposal, and again, one that has actually reduced in size since 2020 as far as number of units sought, as opposed to adding to size, which I think is the more common practice. So happy to entertain any questions you may have, and we hope that you can grant these requested variances this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Cox. We'll open up the hearing to the public. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this petition? In opposition? In opposition? All right. Seeing none, that portion of the public hearing is closed. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of this petition? In favor? In favor. All right, seeing none, the public hearing is closed. We're going to open questions and comments to the board. The chair recognizes Mr. Hovey. Mr. Hovey, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. I wasn't here for the prior versions of this. I think, this fits in with the neighborhood. I'm familiar with the neighborhood, growing up sort of by the South Campus here. So I think this project here fits in well. We're adding 4 new units, right? Because it's a two-family there, right? So we're adding 4 units. I think the frontage fits in with the whole neighborhood. The curb cut, you're in a catch-22, right? Because you're trying to get off-street parking. In order to do that,
Good evening, Mr. Hovey.
Go ahead.
Matt Hammer with Lamplex Engineering, 10 George Street, Lowell, Mass. There's actually no parking on that side of the roadway, so I just wanted to make note of that.
No. So, yeah, my point was the catch-22 with the curb cut is you need 2 driveways, right? So that's why we're at 27
that's
feet.
correct, yeah.
Right, in order to not have to come in front of us for a off-street parking variance.
Yes, that's
right.
correct.
So
Sorry,
that's
I
where the
misunderstood.
catch-22 is. No, that's fine. No, it's understandable. So I have no issues with that. I have no issues with the frontage. I think this fits in better than what was prior proposed. So I have no problem supporting this.
Thank you, Mr. Hovey. The chair recognizes the vice chairman, Mr. Callahan. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chairman. I don't believe that this project came before us. I know it went in front of planning. I don't think it's ever gotten in front of the
Oh,
zoning board.
Mr. Callahan, it did not, and the reason was because what we were proposing before would not need any variances.
Yeah.
It needed planning board approval at that point. But now where we've divided the lots and we have the frontage issue and now the curb cut issue, you're right, it was not before the ZBA in those other years.
Yep, okay. Yeah, I was familiar with the project just watching the planning board meetings on what is previously and the previous iterations of it. And I think now that it's coming down to 5, I think it's making total sense on this to 6. Yeah, well, it's a 2-family, the existing building, right? Yeah, so, and adding 4 units. So I would, and there's been no opposition here. DPD, they said the requested relief of frontage seems reasonable, giving the neighborhood and stuff like that. So I wouldn't see any problems with this, and I would be voting in favor. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Callahan. The chair recognizes Mr. Nicholson. Mr. Nicholson, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I'm looking at the notes here, and it's saying that to ask for a landscaping plan design as well as stormwater plans.
Yeah, Mr. Nick-
This is
So we'll
considered
be
commercial?
facilitating the landscaping requirements as well as the stormwater and all the grading and engineering design through the planning board process.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are these rentals? Are they condos or
They're going to be rentals.
rentals? Okay.
Yep.
That's all I had for questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nixon. Chair recognizes Mr. Briere. Mr. Briere, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, the owner has certainly demonstrated his patience, his persistence, and a willingness to work with his neighbors. It's won my support, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Briere. Yeah, to my colleagues, in fact, Counselor, you, Mr. Norton, worked well with the neighborhood, so I think, like you said, scaling down the project, it helped in your benefit, but overall, the project is going to benefit the neighborhood and city as a whole, so I have no concerns either. All right, if there's no further comments by my colleagues, we'll move forward with a motion to approve.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion in regards to ZBA 2024-38 for variances at 113 Walker Street under section 5.1 for relief from the minimum frontage requirement and maximum curb cut.
All right, motion by Mr. Hovey,
Second.
second by the Vice Chairman. Can we have a roll call, please?
Chairman Pick,
Approve?
Vice Chair Callahan,
Approved?
Member Hubby,
Approved.
Member Briere, Member Nickerson.
Approve.
All right, you've been approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, folks. Thank you for coming out. Have a good evening. Have a good night, Mr. Norton. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, we have ZBA-2024-40. The petition type is a variance. The applicant is Renee Hartz. Property located at 90 Pentucket Ave. The applicant has applied to Lowell Zoning Board of Appeals to construct an addition to the existing single-family home at 90 Pentucket Avenue. The subject property is located in the suburban single-family SSF zoning district. The proposal requires variance approval per section 5.1 for relief from the minimum side yard setback and the maximum floor area ratio FAR requirements, and for any relief required in the Lowell zoning ordinance. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
You want to just tell us who you are and where you're from, the address, and tell us about your project?
Yes, of course. My name is Iris Melendez, and I represent the homeowners. They are here with me today. So they're proposing to do an addition above their garage. I know that we need a relief because of the side yard setback, as well as the FAR. And I know there were some documents that were requested to be updated. I provided those on Friday, and I believe it should be all that you guys were looking for.
Okay. Is that all you have in your summary of your project, ma'am?
Yes, unless
Okay.
you want additional information.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll move the hearing open to the public. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition of this petition? In opposition? In opposition? In opposition? All right, seeing none, that portion of the public hearing is closed. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of this petition? In favor? In favor? In favor? All right, seeing none, the public hearing is closed. We're going to open question and comments to the board. The chair recognizes the Vice Chairman, Mr. Callahan. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chairman. A question, is the garage, so we're trying to put a addition on the existing garage and porch. Is it attached to the main structure, or is it freestanding?
Yes.
Okay. All right. It was unclear from the, it's kind of
So
unclear from the.
there's
plan-
there's
from
the
plans.
home, there's
Yeah.
kind of like a passage, and then there's the garage.
So it's like a breezeway or something? or-
Yes, yes, correct.
Okay. Dylan, does that affect anything as far as it being like, because it's a breezeway, it's now one structure, right? It's not two on the lot?
Right, the relief required was because we were treating it as one structure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, I just wanted to clarify that, just make sure, because if there's two structures, then we got another issue with that.
Okay.
I'm looking at the notes look at the plans and the notes from DPD. The request does seem minimal. They don't have any concerns. I don't see any real main issue. My concern was whether or not there was connection to the building, and it appears it is connected, so they're treating it as that. So I have no other questions or comments, so thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Callahan. The chair recognizes Mr. Nickerson. Mr. Nickerson, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I was confused with the schematics of the drawing as well. I wasn't sure if you were redoing the first floor over and the second, but now I see you're just adding like an ensuite over the garage with bathroom and walk-in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a little bit hard to tell from the drawings, but all right, that's all I had. But thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Nickerson. The chair recognizes Mr. Brier. Mr. Brier, the floor is yours, sir.
Relief is minimal. I'll be voting in favor.
Thank you, Mr. Brier. Chair recognizes Mr. Hovey. Mr. Hovey, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. Just for clarification, because the new plot plan has the existing garage being raised, and we just went around the horn here with everybody asking if we're just building on top of the existing garage.
Correct. So we're doing a new garage and building on top of the garage.
Okay, so the garage is being raised. The garage is being torn down.
Yes, yes. So it's a new structure coming up.
Okay. And Dylan, does that mean it's grandfathered in? Because even on these notes, we have building on existing, and we're really not building on the existing garages. They're kind of clarifying now that it's getting actually torn down.
This board can grant approval for that. Typically, when a structure needs to come down, they can get approval to rebuild in the same footprint.
As long as it's in the same footprint. Okay. Yeah, so there was just, everything said existing, and then when the plot came in on Friday,
yeah.
I noticed that the garage is actually being removed and then rebuilt. So I guess as long as they're grandfathered in with that, then I don't see a significant issue with any of this.
Thank you, Mr. Hovey. Just to my colleague's point, again, I think also very minimal relief, 5 feet of relief from the side yard setback. I think this addition would be a nice addition to the home, but an upgrade to the neighborhood as well. So I think it's a nice little project. So I'll be voting in favor as well. If there's no further comments by my colleagues, we move forward with a motion to approve.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion in regards to ZBA 2024-40 for variances at 90 Pentucket Ave, per section 5.1 for relief from the minimum side yard setback and maximum floor area ratio.
All right, motion by Mr. Hovey,
Second.
second by the Vice Chairman, Mr. Callahan, and Kimball, roll call, please.
Chairman Peck,
Approve.
Vice Chair Callahan,
Approved?
Member Hovey,
Proof.
Member Briere, Member Nickerson.
Approve.
All right, being approved.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming out this evening. Have a good evening. All right, moving on to the next item on the agenda, we have ZBA-2024-41. A petition is a variance. The applicant is James Co-Development Incorporated, property located at 14 Lewis Street. The applicant has applied to the Zoning Board of Appeals to subdivide an existing lot at 14 Lewis Street and construct a single-family home on the new lot. The subject property is located in the suburban single-family SS zoning district. Lot A, the site of the existing home, requires variance approval under section 5.1 for minimum lot area per dwelling unit, and any other relief required in the Lowell zoning ordinance. Lot B, the proposed site of the new home, requires a variance approval under section 5.1 for the maximum floor area ratio, minimum lot area per dwelling unit, and any other relief required in the Lowell zoning ordinance. Good evening, Councilor.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good evening to all. For the record, my name is John Geary of Geary & Geary LLP, 32 Church Street, Lowell, Mass. I'm here tonight representing the applicant, James Co. Development, Inc. With me tonight, we have Chris Finero. Chris and his wife, Megan Mahoney, are the principals of James Co. We also have Dave Damaris of Damaris Surveying Associates. Dave is a registered surveyor and prepared the site plan for tonight's application. A little bit of background about Chris and Megan. Both were born and raised in Lowell. They have been fortunate enough to give back to the community by making significant contributions to Lowell charities and nonprofits over the years, and have continued and have committed to do so in the future. They both have deep roots and vested interests in the city. In fact, their daughter, who was just recently engaged, will be purchasing the existing home at 14 Loose Street to call her new home with her and her future husband. So as soon as construction's done, she'll be moving into that property. In terms of the materials provided, in addition to the application, we've provided the site plan, the floor plans, the elevations, and a color rendering of the proposed single-family home, which is right up on the board in front of you as well. As the chairman mentioned, we're here tonight seeking variances pursuant to section 5.1 of the city zoning ordinance. Subject property consists of a single-family home located at 14 Moose Street on about 16,260 square feet of land. The property is located within the suburban single-family zoning district. This neighborhood is predominantly single-family. However, there are a few two-families just around the corner from this property on Frothingham Street. The applicant's proposing to split the existing lot into two lots. The existing single-family home is identified as Lot A on the site plan that you should have in your packet. That lot contains 8,131 square feet of land. The house, the existing home, is situated uniquely to the northerly side of that lot. That home contains 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths. It's currently undergoing a complete interior-exterior renovation, and the landscaping associated with that home is going to be overhauled as well. The newly created lot is identified as Lot B on your site plan. That lot consists of 8,132 square feet of land, so the lots are essentially equally sized. The applicant's proposing to construct a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath Cape Cod-style home with a very, very attractive farmer's porch associated with that. The home will have about 1,981 square feet of living space. The applicant and his architect took great care to design a home that fit the character of this particular neighborhood. In order to split the lot, we are here tonight specifically seeking relief for lot area for both lots and for the relief from the maximum floor area ratio associated with the construction on Lot B. In terms of the lot area relief which we're requesting, most of the lots in the neighborhood range in size from 6,000 square feet to over 10,000 square feet. We're proposing to create 2 lots that are slightly over 8,100 square feet, which is consistent with what we see in the neighborhood. To demonstrate that, we have included an exhibit plan in our application which highlights about 25 lots in the immediate neighborhood that are under the 10,000. Some are significantly under, some are closer to the 10,000 square feet required, such as what we have, closer to 8,100 square feet. The design of the proposed single-family home on Lot B was done in a way so that it would complement the lot size and the character of the existing neighborhood. And we've provided the rendering, if you could switch over to the rendering. We've provided that neighborhood contextual rendering, which shows exactly how the finished product will look once construction's done. And I would suggest that the finished product will look much better than that, because that does not account for the landscaping that's going to go on with the existing home. So the board will get should get a very good feel for what the finished product is going to look like. In terms of the relief that we're seeking relative to the maximum floor area ratio, the staff did a very good job of speaking to that, specifically comment number 4 in their comments. Those comments point out that the suburban single-family zoning district requires a maximum 0.35% floor area ratio to the overall lot size, and that what we are proposing on Lot B is at 0.42, slightly over that 0.35 maximum. The comments go on to suggest that, or to note that, almost half the homes on Loose Street that currently exist exceed the maximum floor area ratio. I would take that another step and suggest if you expanded that search out to the other surrounding streets, we would find many more homes that exceed the maximum floor area ratio. The applicant and his architect had looked at a couple of different design options in order to stay within that floor area ratio. One idea was to design the home so that you have half the basement being a full basement and the other half being crawl space. By doing that, we would have got within the 0.35% ratio, but we would have had a house that looked exactly the same from the outside, but was not as functional on the inside. So we quickly concluded that that was not worth doing. It didn't make any sense at all. We were better off designing a home that is functional and aesthetically fits the character of this neighborhood, and that's how we ended up with that design before you tonight. We received and reviewed the staff comments. So as is customary, the first few comments just summarize the project for the board. Comment number 4, I've touched on that a little bit, but again, that comment reinforces our belief that what we are proposing tonight is in character with the neighborhood and satisfies the intent of the zoning for the suburban single-family district. Comment number 5, again, notes that the proposal would fit the character of the neighborhood. That seems to be a theme tonight. The comments point out that the proposal is in line with the Lowell Forward Plan, which implores the city to add much-needed additional housing units to its housing stock. We certainly accomplished that goal by rehabbing the existing home, which has been around for about 100 years, and as a result of going through a complete gut rehab, it will be around for another 100 years. And as I said, we're adding this new home to Lot B. Every single unit that we can add to the city's housing stock is important. We've reviewed the engineering comments. We have no concerns about any of those engineering comments. I'll point out that one of the comments noted that a note on the site plan indicated that there would be a Caltech type recharge system. It's not shown on the site plan, but certainly if there's approval tonight, that would be part of the plan in any building permit submission. And I note that none of the other department heads weighed in on the application, which I would suggest is pretty typical of this type of application. So with that, I'll turn the presentation over to Dave. Dave will review the site plan with the board.
Thank you, Councilor. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. I'm Dave Damaris. I'm a land surveyor here in Lowell. My office is located on Roger Street and at 566. We performed the perimeter survey on this back in 2023, towards the end of the year, and we decided to split this right down the middle. So just to reiterate what Attorney Geary said, Lot A will contain 8,131 square feet, and Lot B will be 8,132 square feet. So it basically split it in half. At this point, I think Attorney Geary did a great job in his narrative, and I'm here to answer any questions related to the site plan that our office prepared. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, sir. All right, we'll open the hearing to the public now. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this petition? In opposition? In opposition? All right, seeing none, that portion of the public hearing is closed. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Good evening, sir.
Kevin Fernandez, 538 Andover Street. I'm in favor of the project. It'll look real nice there. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
My name is David Slattery. I reside at 140 Glenwood Street here in Lowell. Mr. Chairman, members of the Zoning Board of Appeals, thank you very much for allowing me a few minutes this evening. I'm here to express my strong support for the application submitted by James Code Development Incorporated to split the existing lot at 14 Lou Street into 2 lots, constructing a new single-family home on the newly created lot. As a resident who has lived in this neighborhood for several years now, my wife for 51 years, in one block from this proposed site, I take any development in our community seriously. I firmly believe this project will be a significant benefit to the neighborhood. Initially, when I heard about this proposal, I was encouraged to see that James Co. Development, led by Chris Finnerl, was behind it. I've personally lived in properties either built or renovated by James Co., and I can attest to the high level of integrity, thoroughness, and attention to detail that Chris and his team bring to every project. Their approach ensures that all aspects of construction are thoughtfully considered and executed with care. In my experience, James Co. Development has consistently improved the aesthetic and structural quality of the properties they work on. The proposed new home at 14 Lou Street would not only fit seamlessly into the fabric of our neighborhood, but will also enhance its character. The thoughtful design and high standards of construction that James Co. is known will add to the appeal to our community, making this development a positive addition. I respectfully urge you to approve this application as it will benefit the neighborhood and the future residents. Thank you for your time and consideration.
All right, thank you, sir, for your comments. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this petition?
I do. Good morning, Chairman Peck, members of the board. My name is Steve Geary. I live at 25 Knob Way with my wife just a few blocks away. And I'm speaking in favor of this project, and I just wanted to say that I've walked, driven, ran, and rode my bike past that property all of my life, and I can tell you that in the past, when it was just a woods, when it was before a lot of the trees were down, a lot of the times I'd go by there and there'd be bags of trash. That's where people would drive by and just throw their stuff out. So that was a problem for a while. I haven't seen that in a couple of years since they took the trees down and opened it up a little bit. But I will tell you that I would not be speaking in favor of any project that I thought would have any kind of detriment to the neighborhood I've lived in for so long. And this project is perfect for that neighborhood. That is a corner lot. It's a unique lot. It begs for a home in that lot. And I don't think you have to go much further than what John said about Megan and Chris's daughter, who's going to be living literally on that property. So he wouldn't do anything, even if it wasn't his daughter, he wouldn't do anything to have his name on a property that didn't look good. I've dealt with Chris. He's done projects for me, and I could tell you he only uses the highest end products in everything he does, and I know that because I paid for it. And that's what you'll see on this property, from everything from the doorknobs to the sprinkler system to everything. This will be a high-end piece of property, and it will enhance that neighborhood immensely. It will really be good. I couldn't believe that this was finally going to be developed, and I'm glad that hopefully you support it. All of you support it because it is a great project. We do need housing. This is only one house, but it will make a big difference in that neighborhood, and that's why you have neighbors here who are direct abutters speaking in favor. So I hope you support it, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gary. Anyone else wish to speak in favor of this petition?
My name is John Mathias. I'm the neighbor on 77 Frothingham Street, right across from that lot. And I think it would be a great asset to my neighborhood if we had that house, and we couldn't get a better person to build it than Chris. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, sir. Good evening, Chief.
Good evening. Thank you. I don't know if I can top Steve Gary's, but my name is Barry Gollner, and I live at 166 Manza Street in Lowell. I've known Chris Finwell for over 30 years. I worked with him when he worked on the police department, and I've had the opportunity to view his construction in Massachusetts, in Maine, and in New Hampshire, and every one of his properties are top-notch, high quality. Aesthetically, they improve the neighborhoods. I've walked this neighborhood with my wife. I've looked at the property. I've had the opportunity to review the plans and the proposed house for the site, and it definitely will improve and enhance the neighborhood. So I'm here to speak in favor of it. All of my friends, and some of them that are here tonight, have been in that neighborhood for over 40 years. So for them to be here and speak in favor of that is a plus as well. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Chief. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. My name is Patrick Coughlin. I am presently living at 86 Frothingham, so I abut the property today. And what I can say is I want to speak in favor of this project. My side yard backs up to it. As Steve Gary said earlier, that lot for years had just been kind of a dumping ground for people driving by. Chris's work is impeccable. He's going to bring a beautiful, tasteful house to that lot, and I think anybody would be lucky to buy it, going forward. So again, we are in favor of this project. We see it will bring great value to the neighborhood, and we're hopeful that we'll all get approved. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, sir. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Mary Sheehan, 238 Butman Road. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I'm here in favor of speaking of James Cole Development. My sister and I recently had a new home built next to us. The lot which the house was constructed on was previously vacant and provided us with a great deal of privacy. When we learned that the lot had been purchased and a house would be built, we were, to say the least, very unhappy. As the construction process began, our concerns only grew, and we even questioned whether we wanted to remain in our neighborhood and in our family home, which we cherished for over 90 years, collectively, obviously. However, we ultimately decided to wait it out, and I'm pleased to say that the family who purchased the house has been a wonderful addition to our street. They have beautifully completed the home and yard, transforming something that once we dreaded into a welcome change. I believe that once the house built by James Cole is completed, everyone with the concerns about the project will share the positive sentiments that my sister and I now feel. I fully support this project.
Thank you for your comments, ma'am. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this petition? In favor? In favor? All right. Seeing none, the public hearing is closed.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, go ahead,
So,
Councilor.
just for the record, I'd like to confirm that the board members received letters of support. I have about 13 or 14 here. You have received them?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let the record show we did get a lot, about 13, 14, like the council said, letters of
I
support.
was also just handed a letter from the neighbor directly across the street from this existing home that's, in support of the project as well. So for the record.
Thank you, Councilor. All right, we're going to close the public hearing. We're going to open questions and comments from the board now. The chair recognizes Mr. Nickerson. Mr. Nickerson, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Chair. No, I have no questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Mr. Brier. Mr. Brier, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This was a no-brainer for me. The addition of this home just further enhances a beautiful neighborhood. I'll be voting in favor.
Thank you, Mr. Brier. The chair recognizes Mr. Hovey. Mr. Hovey, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. I do have a question on plot plan here. See the garage to the left of property on Lot 2? Yes, B2. I don't notice a driveway.
We haven't gotten to that point yet. To propose a driveway at development, we will do a complete makeup of the lot and propose that.
But there is a two-car garage there, so the driveway will be coming in off the street. Yeah, the rendering actually shows it.
Right, so, I mean, measurement-wise, we don't know the width of the driveway currently.
Do you know the width, Chris?
I could answer that. My name's Chris Finnerl, 487 Groton Road, Westford, Mass. The garage is 24 by 24. The driveway would mimic that, 24 feet by whatever it takes to get out to the road.
Okay, so if we make a condition that the driveway doesn't exceed 24 feet, you'd be okay with that?
I would be perfectly fine with that.
All right.
Thank you.
And reason being is we've had driveways that come back that, they pave half a yard because it's not on the plot plan. So if you're okay with not exceeding 24 feet, then we can make it.
Perfectly fine with that condition.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hovey. The chair recognizes the vice chairman, Mr. Callahan. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chairman. This is an unusual one. Normally, you get a split of a lot, and the abutting neighbors. There's usually at least some opposition from one of the abutting neighbors. But here we have a situation where we got a beautiful project being put forward, and you reached out to the neighbors. I commend you reaching out to the neighbors, and they all support it, which is great, and I think that bodes very well. And the property would certainly fit into the existing character of the neighborhood. I know Mr. Finnerl does do very, very good work with his projects, and the fact that his daughter is going to be living on the property as well is well, shows good faith of like, this is something that they really, stay within the family and whatnot. So, so I would be in full support of this. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Callahan. Just like my colleague said, I think this is a nice project. I think it add value to the neighborhood and to the city as a whole. Just to let you know, I did get several comments and communications of support for this project. So, and thank you to the neighbors for coming out this evening. It looks like a beautiful project, so I'll be supporting as well. We only have one condition, Counselor, with the driveway to not exceed 24 feet.
wide.
Yep. Okay.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Acceptable.
Just a question, do we need to do a condition, or Dylan, maybe you can answer that, as far as, I know engineering had some comments about having updated plans with all the other things. Do we need to do a condition for that, or is that built in with the building permit process?
You could condition that approval.
Okay, Counsel, you wouldn't have any...
Yeah, no problem conditioning the engineering comments as
into a new site
part of
plan
the
to be
approval,
submitted?
right.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Counselor. All right, if there's no more comments by my colleagues, we'll move forward with a motion to approve.
With condition,
From the comments from the engineering
approval
department.
with condition, adopting the engineering,
Mhm.
new site plan to be submitted with adopting engineering comments.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion regarding ZBA 2024-41 for variances at 14 Luce Street, Lot A, variance approval under Section 5.1 for minimum lot area per dwelling unit. Lot B, approval under Section 5.1 for maximum floor area ratio, minimum lot area per dwelling unit, along with two conditions. Condition 1, Lot B driveway not to exceed 24 feet in width. And Condition 2, adoption of the engineering comments.
All right, motion by Mr. Hovey, second by Mr. Briere. Can we have a roll call, please?
Chairman Peck,
Approve of conditions.
Vice Chair Callahan,
Approve of conditions.
Member Hovey,
Approve.
Member Briere, Member Nickerson.
Approve with conditions.
All right, you've been approved.
Thank you. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out tonight, folks. Appreciate it. All right, moving on to the next item on the agenda. I just wanted to circle back to the to ZBA-2024-36, 1695 Middlesex Street, Unit 9, 10, and 11. I don't know if they're here or they're on Zoom or anything. Or I don't know if we got communication from them that they couldn't make it tonight.
They are not on Zoom, and we did not receive any communication from them.
Okay. All right, what's the wish of the board?
Mr. Chairman, I know we ran into this issue previously in the past with some other projects. I think normally what we've done is continued it to give I certainly would like to give the petitioner all the benefit of the doubt, or whether they missed this. Maybe they didn't understand they have to show up or something. I don't know. But it's for a sign, so it doesn't seem like it's something of.
I would agree, Mr. Callahan. I mean, in the past, we give people a little courtesy, and like you said, maybe they didn't know they had to be here tonight, or maybe something happened. You never know. So, if my colleague's okay with it, we're we can continue this matter. Mr. Ricker, when's our next available opening for an agenda item?
The next available agenda would be November 14th.
November 14th?
Well, what do we look, I mean, the next one is October 17th, right? I mean, this is a sign. I mean, I don't think it's going to take too long. I mean, if we don't really have a set rule about limiting the agenda, but we do try to keep it at 5, right? So, I mean, whatever my other fellow board members think, but if we can put it on to the next one, I mean, I don't think it's going to take up too much time.
What's the will of the board? So the next opening on the agenda is November 14th, but our next scheduled meeting is
17th, I believe, because Columbus Day week, we're on Thursday.
Yeah, yep. Sort of fall on Thursday in October. What do people think? I'm open to any of those.
Yeah, I mean, they've given us 3 different signs, right? I mean, they've come back 3 different times with this, so they're obviously somewhat engaged. I don't know why they're not here tonight, but I would say either that Thursday or the 28th, or the next meeting after that. Either one, I'm fine with.
All right, let's do the 17th, like the vice chairman recommended. If there's no further comments, we have a motion to continue the matter to October 17th. Just for the public record, this is a public notice, to be no other notice regarding discontinuance.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chairman, regarding ZBA 2024-36, special permit at 1695 Middlesex Street, under section 6.3, to continue to October 17th, our next meeting.
All right, motion by Mr. Hovey to continue the matter.
Second.
Second by the vice chairman. Can we have a roll call, please?
Chairman Peck,
Approve continuance.
Vice Chair Callahan,
Approve continuance to October 17th, 2024.
Member Hovey,
Approve.
Member Briere, Member Nickerson.
All right, the matter has been continued. All right, moving on to other.
Dylan, could you just make sure that, let the petitioner know that they have to show up?
Yep.
Maybe there was some miscommunication, but just to make sure that they have to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Callahan. All right, moving on to other business. We have the minutes for approval for September 9th. Is there any edits, comments, revisions to the minutes from my colleagues? Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve the minutes, please?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve minutes for meeting September 9th, 2024.
All right, motion by Mr. Hovey to approve the minutes.
Second.
Second by the vice chairman. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. The ayes are unanimous. The minutes are approved. Any other comments from my colleagues before we move forward to adjourn? All right, seeing none, can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Hovey to adjourn. Second by the vice chairman. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. The ayes are unanimous. We are adjourned. Thank you. Have a good night, folks.
Good job.
You did good. You did good.
Good night.
Thank you.
We'll see ya.
Good night.